credit is messed up. You don't have to
but
use my name.
Had to do that.
But I'm just saying, it's still...
I can't get a house in my name. I can't get a car in my name because you messed up my credit. I'm 26 years old.
I understand that.
I can't even get a house in my name. My credit is messed up. I got 10 evictions. What's up with that? What's up with that?
Well, Audrey, listen, sometimes parents got to do what they got to do. But she was wrong for it. But sometimes parents got to do what they got to do.
But you didn't have to call the police on me. We could talk about this. We can work this out. You know, I mean, I'm sorry I had to do what I had to do, baby. You know, I was just, you know, living life, and life hit me hard with having you guys for.
So what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to stay? How can I get a car? I Uber all the time. I can't even afford to get a car because my credit's messed up. You got all these credit card bills in my name.
You can stay with one of us. You can stay with one of us. You know,
it ain't no room to stay with one of y'all.
Really know if this is my last time, but what I know is I'm feeling just fine. My life is like a red carpet, and I'm feeling like the richest millionaire. This is my local mayor, and I'm the biggest star around here. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. More importantly, you saw the clip. I've seen this on social media twice in two different type of skits, because I think they both skits. And where, you know, the mother puts the kid, ruins the kid's credit so they can't move forward in life, and it's pretty much the same speech. You don't know what I had to go through, blah, blah, blah. And it's not the skit that's the issue, because I think this is something that was more prevalent to me like in the 80s, maybe 90s. I don't think it's happening like that now, but I could be wrong. But the Stockholm syndrome is a constant thing. I see it all the time. Sometimes I use clips from the show Karamo, right? And he displays it, you know, because when a guy does something, he knows he can reprimand him. When a woman does something, when a mother does something, he just can't. You know what I'm saying? You see it with the kids. What is the situation with what is it? The breakdancing granddad, the white guy. You know, he's got to make a whole 45-minute, hour-long dissertation about what he actually went through, because his daughter, you know, has her side of the story, but she doesn't know per se his side of the story, because let me just believe mom. So now you come to that realization that, wait a minute, I've been lied to this whole time, but does it matter? The question is, does it matter? And this is what I mean by Stockholm syndrome parenting. You get a lot of young men and women finding out that the life that they live, or that they believed, or their truth, or their story is only a half truth. It's only half of the story. And what winds up happening is you get these situations, and now you seeing, you know, how forgiving these kids are for abuse. And it's hypocritical. You know, people were talking all that trauma stuff, toxic stuff a year, 2 years ago. But when it comes to mothers' abuse or trauma or toxicity, y'all easy. You know, y'all so forgiving. Y'all so, well, you know, I just, but you shouldn't have done that. Why? You know, the amount of abuse that you take from your mothers is epic. And it's weird, because a lot of times y'all cut off your fathers like that, or y'all can cut off your family members like that, or y'all can cut off your friends like that for an offense or an alleged offense, even if it's not real. But mom can't do it. It's just something about, I love her. I know she stole my identity, but I love her. I know she abused me, but I love her. I know she sabotaged me, but I love her. You know, I know she ruined some of my relationships, but I love her. I know she sent me back down a bad path on purpose, and I got to fix it even though she did it, but I love her. I know she said she was doing it all on her own, but she got child support the whole time and spent it on herself, and now I ain't got nothing, but I love her. But when you say, why don't you care about the other person? They took an extra slice of pizza. They selfish. It's in their soul. They're narcissistic. It's like, at what point are we going to have a conversation about this? And I'm going to take it a step further. You know how people say, you get a lot of older people saying this, but sometimes you get young people trying to hustle, but a man's relationship with his mother will tell you everything you need to know. And what y'all don't want to say is, if a lot of y'all are abusive and y'all just mean-spirited people. So as long as he got Stockholm syndrome with his mother, he can have Stockholm syndrome with your mean ass. Is pretty much the underlying thing that's going on. You how much abuse can you take? Because, I'm a woman and she's a woman, and you should be able to take abuse from a woman. It's like, that's bull. But people think this is a normal progression. Thus, part of the issue with the quote unquote gender war. And then you see it, with the whole single mother thing, which you see time and time again, is a kid 15 to an adult 30 years old figuring out the truth about mom after the fact, figuring out that they've been played after the fact. But they play this, you gotta forgive. That's your mother. You gotta forgive. And it's like, but you don't, you gotta give people grace. Do you? And the reason I ask, do you, is because, do you have to give people grace for attacking you or hurting you, or do you have to give your mother grace for attacking you or hurting you? Because I see far less grace for people than I do for mothers. And y'all don't want to, deal with that. And some of y'all just don't want to, how can I say this? The reason why I say Stockholm syndrome parenting is because mentally, y'all got a block. Mentally, you can't separate you can't separate what disrespect and love is when it comes from one person. You can't accept somebody might not, your mom might love bomb you. You can't accept that. You can't accept that your mom might be narcissistic. You can't accept that. You can't accept that your mom might be manipulative. You can't accept it because you got a hug. She whispered in your ear. As BGS would call it, the winter soldier chip. And y'all assume that more people have it than they do now because less guys have it than in previous years and previous generations. Because let me rewind this a little bit. We used to make fun of white kids being so disrespectful to their mothers, and like, boy, that's something them white kids do. Calling their mamas BS out. And now what you're seeing is maybe they were ahead of the curve. But, people don't want to talk about their single mother aspect or their stepdaddy aspect in that community. But those kids would call out their mom's BS. Half of those kids was just brats trying to get over. I gotta say that. But what you see is adults, dealing with the concept of, maybe I was raised by the villain. Because this is where there's a psychological break. A lot of y'all have never considered the fact that you're a bad person because you were raised by a bad person. You thought being a bad person was normal. So when people confront your bad behavior, thus you get the, but what did I do? What did I say? How am I wrong kind of response and scenario, which unfortunately, if you have kids, guess what trickles down to your kids? You're so accustomed to bad behavior, you teach them bad behavior, and then you see the kids acting bad, and his parents. These kids messed up. No, you messed up. But guess what you're doing? You're telling the kids to love you no matter what, even though you messed up. Right? So the cycle repeats itself. And people don't want to talk about it, but part of the single mother thing where it's, you know, the selfishness of it's my child, it's my baby, I can do what I want, is also you could do what you want to program that kid to have Stockholm syndrome just like you got it. Because there are a lot of adult men and women who gravitate to their moms and they don't like their moms, but they still around their moms a lot. And they can't figure out why. But let me stop there, man. Tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, know I gave you everything I had.